All right, B'siyata Dishmaya, we're here in the Alshech Academy on a Wednesday. We are in Derech Hashem. We've been learning in the second chapter of the book, in the second part of the book, third chapter, however you want to say it. And we were talking about how tzaddikim can help the generation, can take some of the hardship of the generation on themselves, and they can make the situation better for the generation, and they can help us get to our goal. And we have more here to say. Tzfat Israel. The Ramchal is coming to finish off this chapter now with a short idea. 2 little letters. Excuse me. And it goes like this. Nimtza lefi kol ma shebe'arnu. According to everything that we've explained so far in this idea of Hashgacha Pratit, sibot shonot hamitchalfot lemikre v'nei adam ba'olam hazeh. Different causes and different reasons that things happen to people in this world. Im latov, im lemutav, whether it's for good or for better. V'omnam ein ha'inyan shekol mikre shikre yimashech mikol hasibot ha'ele. It doesn't mean that everything that we've talked about is the reason that everything in the world happens. אבל העניין הוא שמכל אלה הסיבות ימשכו מקרים לבני אדם בעולם. It might not be that we exactly explained why what happened to you, but out of the things that we did explain, they are the causes for many things that happen to the world. And there could be things that are brought down to a person because of one cause. Then other things are happening to you from another cause. Like we explained, it could be that one thing that happened to you in your life was because of a previous reincarnation, previous gilgul that you have to fix in this generation. And it could be another thing that happened to you was because of something that you did in this life, or something someone else did to you in this life, and then you have to fix. This supernal wisdom that's always watching over everything that needs to be done in the rectification of the general world, of the whole entire creation. The supernal wisdom, meaning Hashem, weighs out all of the things that need to be rectified in the world as a whole and in your life individually, and works out a plan how everything can come out as one. And according to this, Hashem makes the world events happen according to every fine detail. It's impossible that because of all of these ideas, that the outcome of them will come out equally. It could be sometimes that something needs to happen in your life, but it conflicts with another thing that needs to happen in your life. Let's give an example. It could be because of zchut avot, because of the merit of your forefathers, that you are deserving of wealth. Whether it's just your last name, whether it's reality, one way or the other, it was decreed that because of your forefathers, especially if it's your last name, so because of your forefathers, that you should be a wealthy person. Ulefi ma'asav, oni. But according to actions, poverty. Right? So according to who you were chemically and biologically and your lineage of your family and your soul, you should be a rich person. But because of how you're acting, you're causing yourself to be poor. So now there's a contradiction here. According to the general separation between wealth and poverty, and even according to the actions themselves, you could do one action that will cause something good to happen to you, and you could do an action that will cause something good that was meant to come to you to not come to you. What happens though in Shemaim? In Shemaim, they're always trying to bring us to tikkun. They're always trying to bring us to a rectification, to a better situation. And the ultimate better situation, the ultimate tikkun, is that all of the souls that are deserving will cling back to their Creator in the world to come. Right? That's the goal. Always remember, the goal is to get to the world to come and cling to the Creator. Right? So if you have this person, he's meant to be rich, but he's acting in a way that's bringing poverty on him, what did they do in Shemaim? They always think about what is the end goal that we're trying to achieve for the world and for this individual. for his children, for his wife, for everything surrounding this person in their life, and only in Shamayim they could do this calculation, they make the decision. And so it could be that you act in a way that you're deserving of poverty, but the bigger picture, you need to be wealthy, so that you have a company, so that you have provide parnasah for a whole bunch of people in your city, so that you support a yeshiva, all these different reasons, whatever it is, right? Doesn't matter how you acted. According to the way you acted, you should be broke, you should be poor, even though you came from a family like this. But since we need something bigger to happen, a person is going to get their money. It's just an example, right? This supernal wisdom invites and makes an opportunity for every single person, individual, to get different things that they need to work on. Meaning, there's things that happen as a consequence, as an outcome of one of these different causes. And there's different things that happen because of a different cause. It can't be, though, that you're going through something in life and it's out of a completely random reason that has nothing to do with what we've mentioned. A gilgul, onesh, a mitzvah. There's a cause and an effect for everything in the world. It's impossible for you to know all of the causes of the things that are going to happen in your life. Like we mentioned, there's even just the fact of a gilgul, that you could be right now in your 100th gilgul, your 100th reincarnation. How in the world are you meant to understand all of that calculations of all 100 previous times your soul came into the world, plus all the times it needs to come in the world in the future, where the world is holding and where you're at in this life? Not even the highest quantum computer could calculate all of that, right? We already know a lot. When you know that there's many different reasons for why things happen in your life, and you know that it's all for the good, and that Hashem has a perfect plan, and that the right outcome will come out at any time, even if you cause a contradiction, when you know that, you already know a lot. This is the Ramchal. You're not going to know all of the secrets. You're not going to know why everything's happening. But knowing that there's many different reasons why something could happen, and that it's all for the good, that's already knowing a lot. Last part here. You need to know. Events that happen to people, they have two different types. There is one type of thing that happens to a person where it's a tachlit. This is the purpose. There's a goal, right? There's a goal happening right now, and then there's other things that happen to people that are just vehicles to get you to the goal, right? Sometimes you're engaging with your purpose, and sometimes you're going through something that will bring you to your purpose, right? Meaning tachlitim. What is a mikra tachliti? A purposeful happening. מקרים שיהיו נגזרים על האדם להיותם ראויים לו מצד אחד מהסיבות שזכרנו למעלה. What is a tachlit kind of event that happens in your life? Something that's fitting for it to happen to you because of one of the causes that we mentioned. A gilgul, a mitzvah that you did, something that's going on in life. And what's imtsaim? These are events that could happen to you, that by way of them, another event will happen that you need to happen in your life. Meaning, you get money, you walk by the poor person in order for you to give the tzedakah. Why did the event of the poor person being next to you right after you got money happen? Right? I'm just giving an example, obviously, right? So that you would give it tzedakah. Why did you need to give tzedakah? You needed to save yourself from death, you need to remove a gzerah, whatever it is. There was a tachlit, there was a purpose of you giving tzedakah. There was no purpose for the poor man being there besides to get you to the next event, which would be for you to give tzedakah and for you to save yourself from whatever decree it is, right? So the poor person, that's so to say an intermediary event leading you to an event of purpose, of meaning. כעניין עודך השם כי ענפת בי שפירשו חכמינו זיכרונם לברכה. The rabbis say about a pasuk in Yeshayahu, I will be gracious to you, Hashem, כי ענפת בי שנשברה רגל פרתו ונפלה. What happened? There was a case of a person that his cow's leg broke and the cow fell. נמצא סימה תחתיה, found underneath her a סימה שימלט ממקרה שראוי שלא יגיע לו, כגון שנתעכב All of a sudden, because the cow fell, he saw there was a danger underneath where the cow was standing, and then he got saved, right? So now you have to admit something bad, so to say, happened, but because of that happening, I figured out something else, and now I have to say thank you to Hashem, right? There's this one case that leads to another case, and because of that, I understand that I need to give gratitude to Hashem. Or you be saved from something that shouldn't have happened to you. For example, you wanted to catch a bus, you wanted to catch a boat, right? You missed the boat, and now the boat sank in the sea. These kind of things that happen to you in life, they could be for you, and they could be for the people around you, they could be for the society around you, they could be for the people that you're affecting in your life. So that by way of that event, you will either bring good or bad to the people around you. There will be a positive or a negative outcome for the people around you. The supernal conscious, when the supernal conscious, Hashem Yitbarach, measures out everything that should happen to you in your life, also the plan to get you to those points will be also laid out, meaning the poor person being there for you when you get that check, right? So yes, you have a goal to get to, and with that goal comes a whole entire program of options of how you're going to get to that goal and different events that could happen in your life. Until you find to a place where everything was supernally decreed with the most perfect precision, leading you towards the goal in the best way possibly, in truth. So this was about Ashgacha Pratit, right? This was about the ideas of Hashem watching over you, to strengthen the ideas, to know that everything that's happening in your life is either the reason you're in the world or bringing you closer to the reason that you're in the world, right? And what's the reason in the world that you're in the world? Because Hashem wants to give you good, but He wants you to earn it. So He created a whole bunch of situations where you have to pick through good and put away the bad. Pick the good and go away from the bad. Pick the good and go away from the bad. And when you do that more and more and more, you purify your soul and your body more and more and more. And you will be able to be invited to the world to come and to bask in that good that Hashem wanted to give you from the beginning of creation. Now we're in the second part of the book of Derech Hashem. The book again is in 4 parts. We're in the second part, and we're in the 4th perek, the 4th chapter. And the title of this perek is Binyan Israel v'umot olam, the idea of Israel and the nations of the world. This is Derech Hashem. We're going to get into some controversial things here. With Baruch Hashem, we're talking to Am Yisrael. And for the rest of the nations that are listening to us that are not a part of Am Yisrael, this is Torah. And if Hashem already caused that you're listening to this class, understand that you're engaging with Ruach HaKodesh and deep Torahs, and everything is emet, and you have to work with absorbing these ideas and working with them in our lives and coming towards the truth of Hashem and this reality that He created. Amongst the deepest ideas of the way Hashem rules the world, is the idea of Israel and the 70 nations of the world. When you look with natural eyes, with the eyes of this world, Am Yisrael and the rest of the nations are completely equal. What's the difference? Right? There's black people, we have black Jews. There's Chinese Jews. Right? There's Dutch Jews. There's converts that become Jews. There's everything in the world can be found in the nation of Israel. So how are they any different on a natural side? But when it comes to Torah, there's a huge difference between Israel and the nations of the world. It's as if they're two completely different species, according to Torah, right? Now the Ramchal is going to give us a sufficient explanation. It's going to be enough for you. The Ramchal is going to explain to us how we are similar to the nations, right? And the Ramchal is also going to explain to us how we are different than the nations. I need to see your panim. Adam הראשון, קודם חטאו היה במצב עליון מאוד ממה שהוא האדם עתה. Adam הראשון, before he sinned, was on a much higher level than mankind right now. We've talked about this in this book already. We've already spoke about this in the first chapter, in the third part. ובמדרגת האנושיות, לפי המצב ההוא, הייתה מדרגה נכבדת מאוד. The level of mankind at the time of Adam HaRishon before the sin was on a very lofty, respectable level. ראויה למעלה רמה נצחית. Mankind, meaning Adam HaRishon, was fitting for an eternal existence, an eternal level of greatness. ואילו לא היה חוטא, היה משתלם. If Adam HaRishon would have never sinned, he would have been completed, meaning a complete unification of body and soul, re-included back inside its source, re-included back inside the Creator. Right? It was enough for Hashem to create the world for one person to recognize Him and to be re-included. We didn't need to all be here. We all are still that one person. We're all Adam, right? Some of us are the eyebrow of Adam. Some of us are the left nostril of Adam. Some of us are the heart of Adam, right? We're all different parts of his body, of this spiritual body that's called Adam HaRishon. And Adam HaRishon would have been completed and he would have ascended level and level and level. In that good form where he was, before sin, he should have already had offspring. Some crazy amount of children that is only according to the calculations of Hashem. However many children Adam HaRishon would have had, according to the level he was before the sin. If he would have completed the act and gone into Shabbat without messing up, right, all of his children would have came with him and ascended with him. But these good souls that he was fitting at the time to give birth to bring into the world, the offspring that he should have had in the world, נגזרו ושערו מלפניו יתברך שמו משערות בהדרגות מיוחדות. They were all measured out, these branches, these offspring of Adam HaRishon, with great precision and in a unique way, meaning שיהיו בהם רשעים ונטפלים. That there should be leaders and there should be people that are major players in the world, and there should be the people that are going through the world, what the modern day kids call NPCs, right? Non-player characters. They're part of the story, but the story's not about them, right? They're just there. So it already was that Hashem set up that there should be these major players in the world, and there should be people the cookie cutter people that go through life. Shorashim v'anafim, there should be roots and there should be branches. נמשכים זה אחר זה בסדר מיוחד, that they continue one after the other in a unique progressive way. כאילנות וענפים, like trees and branches. ומספר אילנות ומספר ענפים, הכל משוער בתכלית הדקדוק. How many trees, how many branches, everything was calculated with precision. והנה בחטאו, but when Adam HaRishon made a mistake, ירד מאוד ממדרגתו. He went very far down from his level. ונכלל בו מן החושך והחירות שיעור גדול. Now included inside of him was darkness and coarseness and earthliness and materialism, which was external to him beforehand. Now it was already part of him. Once he ate, right? Meaning once he ingested, once he brought it into his system, now it was there to stay. Before it was something that you could experience out, that you could see a lack of Hashem's light, right? But now that lack of Hashem's light felt like it was part of us. The whole entire idea of mankind went many levels down to this very low level. Not at all fitting for the eternal level that was the goal of Adam HaRishon when it started. Right? Adam was meant to be so clean that he can get to this high level eternally. Since the sin, mankind, whatever mankind is, from Adam and including everybody else, no longer fitting to get to that place. All that was left for us is a very fine, low level of what we were meant to get to. And this aspect already now, that's when he started to bring children into the world. That's when Adam Rishon started to bring mankind. When mankind was created, was already after Adam messed up. Everybody on this low level that we mentioned. And even though that's the case, you see that there wasn't this ending of mankind from its true root core. Mankind in its true root was meant to be a being that comes into this world, unifies spirituality and physicality, and ascends back to Hashem. That already is impossible since that's sin, but Hashem didn't stop mankind to be in the world. You see that it wasn't that Adam Rishon was killed and taken out of the world and no human beings were brought after that. No, he messed up, he went down, he even brought children into the world, and the world continued. He won't be able to, it's not that he won't ever be able to come to that first level. Because if that was the case, that we could never make it back there, then there's no point in continuing. Might as well stop after Adam. Don't even let him have children. If it's impossible to get back to that level completely, just stop it. Now, so to say, he was brought so far down that it's, so to say, only there in potential. It's not really possible, but it's there. It's possible in potential. That's where we're at. Vine natana adon baruchu. Hashem, the Master, blessed be He, gave us before these offspring that were found in that time, the children of Adam, Hashem gave them the opportunity, the free will for themselves to strengthen themselves. They should put in the effort needed to ascend themselves from a lower level, and they should try to get to a higher level. And Hashem Yitbarach gave mankind this period of time. However much time the supernal wisdom decided was enough for this effort that needs to be put in to take us from that low place back up to this high place. Whatever we need in order to get to this kibbutz, this ingathering of the souls in the world to come, whatever effort we need to put into the world needs a limitation, needs a border. It can't just be work all the time. There has to, if it's the time for work, there has to be a limit to that, because work is not infinite. The reward might be infinite, but work can't be forever infinite. והנה ראתה החוכמה העליונה היות ראוי שזה השתדלות והנה ראתה החוכמה העליונה היות ראוי שזה השתדלות יתחלק לשורשי וענפי. The supernal wisdom saw that it should be fitting that this work that needs to be done, this effort, this ishtadlut that needs to be done, should be split up into what's called shorshii va'anafi, root work and branch work. Meaning, in the beginning, there has to be work. This level of ishtadlut has to come for those that are like these shorish, those souls that were like the roots, the foundation of the world. And afterwards for the branches that come out of those roots. שיקבע עניינו כראוי ותוקן מן הקלקולים שנהיו בו. It still had to be that from the beginning, even though Adam messed up, now that we have a bunch of people in the world and mankind is going to continue, it has to be that we have to reestablish and set in stone what is it that we're here to do. And let's fix as much as we can from what was messed up by the first person ever. Right? לפי סדר Hadraga, according to this order of the importance and the priority, it was fitting שיקבעו ראשונה שורשיים וראשיהם של תולדות האדם לעמוד במדרגה מתוקנת ויעמדו בה הם וענפיהם כי הענפים ימשכו תמיד אחר השורש. Okay, Adam was meant to do it all by himself. Messed up, and now there's children in the world on a very low level that have to get back to this super high level, right? So Adam was here and he needed to get here. But now Adam went from being here trying to go there to from being here to being here. So now at least we have to get back to here to try to get to there. At least we have to get back to 0, right? We're on negative 49. We have to at least get to 0 to get to 50, right? So what happened in the world? That HaKadosh Baruch Hu established, let the roots of mankind come into the world first, right? Metushelach, Noach, Lemech, Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. Let the roots, also on the other side, Esav, right? And Ishmael, and all of the roots, the people that were the roots of the world, let them come into the world first, establish what it is that we're here to do, and if the roots can fix as much as possible, the branches will follow after them. What was the limit then for the effort of the shoresh, the root people? How much work did the root people need to put into this world? And whoever should merit amongst all of those who could be found in those times, at the time that this gate was open and they could have gotten to this place of perfection, this place of preparation to get to the right way. You could prepare themselves properly. We're trying to get to a place where a human being is in his fitting state and not when he's in a messed up state, right? There's this window of opportunity to bring mankind back to the rate that we should have been with Adam. Yes, Adam brought us down, but now if we have an Avram in the world, we have a Noach in the world, maybe he's enough to bring us back to where we need to be. And it could also be that if that person brought into the world and he did his job, the children he would bring into the world will also be according to the path that he established in good. Right? That now, okay, great, I did the work, I brought us back to God consciousness. Now bring children into the world, and those children will also follow this place of God consciousness. Wherever you were at your root, as a root soul, so too the branches will come after. When was this time for the root souls to come in? From Adam HaRishon until the Tower of Babel, until the 70 nations became created. Vine, kol oto hazman lo chadlu tzadikim dorshim ha'emet lerabim. That whole entire time, there was righteous people in the generations that were trying to teach the nation, trying to teach the people how to connect to Hashem, how to connect to the truth. Who? Chanoch, Metushelach, Shem ve'ever. Right? These dmuyot, these people in the world, these tzaddikim, they came, umazirim otam shitaknu et atzmam. They warned the people, fix yourself. Hello, we're a few generations away from Adam. We know that Adam messed up, but he had a goal. Let's get back to that. וכיוון שנתמלאה סטעם של הבריות, דהיינו בזמן הפלגה, שפט במידת משפטו יתברך שמו, היות ראוי שיגמר זמן השתדלות שורשי. Since they didn't get the job done, Hashem decided by the time of the Tower of Babel, Dor HaPelaga, the generation of separation, right? That from then on, the time of the roots to come back and work on the whole entire mankind, time of their effort is over. והיה קצם של הדברים שיקבעו מה שראוי לקבע בבחינת השורשים לפי מה שכבר נתגלגל ונהיה עד עת הקץ ההוא. Up until then, they had their time to work on it. Now, whatever they established who they are, wherever mankind was holding by the time of the Tower of Babel, that's where it was. From Adam until the Tower of Babel, all the world and the tzaddikim that were in the world, Chanoch, Metushelach, Shem ve'ever, and Noach, they had an opportunity to improve the situation as much as they could, to bring us as much back on the Derech after falling off the Derech, right? And wherever we would get to, that would be the establishment of the world, and from there the branches would continue. They were laying down the foundation, so to say. And it ended when we got to that point. ואז השגיח יתברך שמו על כל בני אדם. And Hashem watched over all of mankind. וראה כל המדרגות שהיה ראוי שיקבעו בם האנשים ההם כפי מעשיהם. Hashem saw everybody, what level is everybody established on, what levels did everybody get to? וקבע בם, and he established them there, בבחינתם השורשית, according to their aspect of being a shoresh neshama, a root soul, A soul that's coming to establish what's going to be in the world. According to where they were, was the decree of this is how your children are going to be. According to what was already decreed that root person should bring into the world. Right? Don't forget, we had people then, Yuval, right? He brought music into the world. All these different people that brought beautiful things into the world. Now all of a sudden you had different type of people in the world. Different, he says minim, which in Hebrew usually we say is like species, right? Different types of people though in the world. Everybody had their way that they acted. Everybody had their nature that they worked with. Like every other species in the world, right? This type of fish is not like that type of fish. They act differently, they need different water, they need different lifestyles. They live in coral, that lives in the depths of the sea, this lives in shallow waters. Everyone's different. And Hashem established that they would all now live and bring people into the world according to where they are. And we're up until here right now. Hashem will stop, even though there's a little bit more on this idea. And when we get back, we're going to be talking about Avraham Avinu, who established our nation, of course, and the father of our people. Hashem Yitbarach.